Hi folks, Scott Rogan here, founder and lead designer of Rogue Home Cinema. It's been way too long. Last 6 months has been a fair bit of work on the Odyssey Cinema concept. It is the cinema room that promises to not just be as good as a real commercial cinema experience, but it goes further. And I'm pleased to say we've absolutely achieved that goal. And it's all thanks to some really critical components. In today's video, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the audio processor. It really is the brains, the heart, maybe the soul of the cinema sound. You can see it's got a lot of work to do. And the one we've chosen for our Odyssey Cinema is the Storm Audio. It's the ISP Mark II that we have featured here. It has loads of features, loads of channels. The capabilities of this thing is absolutely phenomenal. But I'm going to kind of keep it short on this video and just say that it sounds absolutely magnificent. Now, last night we ran Michael Bay's latest movie released to Ultra Blu-ray, Ambulance, and it had everything we could wish for. Now, story plot, completely forgivable when so much is going on. Now, Michael Bay is known for clean, sharp, snappy, bright, dynamic images, and the new aerial drone shots, amazing. Though the audio effects as well, there's some clever things going on, and the Storm Audio rendered this absolutely amazing. Now, the tiny detail, the tiny resolution that the audio processor actually digs up is what then is amplified and created in the room. And this is particularly apparent with the bass. So sharp, snappy, deep low bass that just hits and it's gone. But here's the thing, a great processor is not going to just create movie magic in any ordinary room with any ordinary speaker system. So I'll talk a little bit about the system that we've experienced in here and have a little look at the room. So the image that we have is thanks to the Barco Bragi projector, and you'll notice we've got a few other big ones here as well. This is a 160-inch CinemaScope screen, and we're sitting only about 3.3 meters from the screen. So this means we're around a 60-degree viewing angle. This is a little bit like sitting at the front of the middle section of a commercial cinema, for real. Now, it's not quite as big as IMAX, but most people will find this absolutely epic and absolutely love it. And I don't think many people realize it's even possible. In fact, if it wasn't for the Barco projection systems with these super wide lenses, we simply wouldn't get a projector screen or image this big inside the confines of the room. So we've got some really amazing technologies to just have our cake and eat it too. I love a big screen. I ventured to IMAX Melbourne, the world's largest IMAX cinema screen. The sound system there to boot is absolutely phenomenal as well. Watched Jurassic Park, the new Domation, I think it was, and Top Gun Maverick, which I know anyone that's watching Rogue Home Cinema on YouTube have already ticked that box, right? Amazing. And I must say that the system in this room is way closer to the IMAX experience than any other cinema I have been in, which is really saying something. So the typical commercial cinema, we're killing that. In my hometown, often we're only getting about 103 decibels peak in most of those cinemas. I know in the US they can run them a bit louder, but maybe with too much distortion. IMAX in Melbourne, I've measured 114 dB. It probably plays louder. It was just when I was measuring it. And that was in the trailers. So it's a big cinema. In this room, we've got about 112. And I'm probably going to add a bit of power. I want to chase down that IMAX feel. But I'm absolutely satisfied with the sound. I had some friends over that absolutely love cinema and they were blown away. So I'm just so excited about what we've achieved. Now, the speaker system, surely you must be thinking, well, what speaker system can actually make that happen? And it's the brand new Elementi Audio from Australia, European componentry, the boxes and the designs Australian made in Sydney, which these days with freight and COVID stock problems, I tell you what, we're getting such a crazy performance from these speakers for way less price than importing from Europe or importing from the US. So it's a bit of a bonus for us because usually in Australia we're used to paying more than we have to. So featured in here is a 7 0.2, 0.4 channel system. What does that mean? Well, we've got 3 speakers behind the screen. We have our surround channel speakers, and we have our back channel speakers. That's the base layer of the room. So that is the sort of around head height of the room. We then have 2 subwoofers. These are the Elementi Onyx subs, low profile, which is great because we've got one partially behind the screen at the front, and that's sitting in a low pressure region of the room. And then we've got another Onyx subwoofer at the back here in a high pressure region that helps to give us some balance and some clarity of the bass, which doesn't disturb the whole modal resonance thing or bass modes. If you're not sure what that is, check it out, because quality bass is critical for a cinema, and in small rooms, quality bass is pretty chaotic. So we've managed that by doing some clever acoustic engineering, which we had help from the manufacturer to make sure we got that 100% right. They sort of have a few tricks up their sleeve, which is outside of what I've learned with Home Acoustic Alliance, outside of THX, even outside of the CEDIA specifications. So there's some cool tricks when working with this manufacturer. Now, we've got 1,000 watts of active speaker in the front end, thanks to the Phoenix speakers, and we have 1,000 watts to each of our Onyx subwoofers. These are all digital active, so the amplifier has all the crossover work, the time delay and the time domain is all managed in the amplifiers. And we've got, well, obviously a wild amount of power. 1,000 watt for the front end, and we're sitting 3.2 meters away. It is effortless. Let's check out the surround channels. They're a little bit different from the fronts, which are the Elementi Firefly. And these guys have 500 watts to each speaker. Now, the amp system is really quite clever. Obviously, there's a lot of videos I need to be doing to explain more of this stuff. Now, you'll see that we've got multiple speakers here as a showroom. We do have multiple systems. And our Odyssey and Elementi system obviously gets the best spot, and the rest of them have to work around that. So back to the amplification, 500 watts for each surround effect channel. And the amplifier distributes the power. We got 500 watts, and we got probably maybe 80 or 100 going to the compression driver here. We got another, and then the rest of the power goes towards the bass drivers. And that's all decided by the manufacturer. They can steer the power where they want it. They can write the program as they want it. And that's all done in the laboratory. So we get a perfectly accurate speaker, so much so that the final room calibration, we only have to really manage maybe under, the 500 hertz and under range. Do we really have to manage EQ? Because these speakers are already tuned pretty well perfect all the way up. If that's a little bit confusing, check out another video regarding room EQ. I'll try and keep this one a little bit easier to understand. So we've got 500 watts for all our effects. We've got 1,000 for each sub. We've got the 1,000 watt LCRs. At the moment, we're waiting for the Elementi Atmos channels. They'll also be 500 watt active speakers. For now, we're sharing our middle systems. We got some Triad overheads. They're a passive speaker, about 150 watts to them. So looking forward to what the active Atmos would do for us shortly, but we're getting a really great effect from those height channels, really thanks to the Storm Audio processor, because we've got such high resolution coming in. So that's the sound system. Now, as you can imagine, with that much power, that much clarity, and a sophisticated room acoustic, what happens upstream is going to be very apparent. So the processor of choice is going to be basically completely on show. There's nowhere to hide in this system. And it's when this team of products come together that we get that absolute wow factor. I've had clients that I've been working with for many, many years, and they've come in and visit just in the last few weeks while we've actually got this one running. And it's like, wow, Scott, this is what you've been chasing for like 10, 15 years. I'm like, yeah, man, we've made it. We're here now. So Audio Nirvana, musically and cinema-wise, it's all very achievable. And the price point of this equipment is way less than we may expect. In fact, the whole point of this room for us was to put in absolutely reference level sound, great level, great clarity, but for no more money than we have to. So I know for a fact this showroom is a must visit if you can check it out or check out one like it. It's going to be obvious. So, all right, that's our sound system. Projection systems, we've actually got the Barco Bragi up there. That's our primary projector. We usually have a Sony, but we're waiting for those new models to arrive. Epson's a great value option to get started. That runs our Voyager cinema systems. And we have a guest projector here, which is on actually pre-calibration. And this is the Barco Bowder, which has a lot more grunt than the Bragi. In fact, microphone fail, I think we're running. So my screen size at 160 inches. The Bragi projector really doesn't have the grunt to pop full HDR levels. We're really chasing around 35, 40 plus foot Lamberts of power for HDR. This one's only really around 20. Whereas the Barco Bowder here, 4,000 lumens of power with P3 color space. It's the commercial or the Ultra HD specification. That really lights the screen up a whole lot better. So I'm thinking maybe I might actually put the Bowder up in here and keep this bad boy because it just suits our screen size a whole lot better. Though the art to getting HDR, high dynamic range video right is in the video processing. Now you'd think a big projector like the Barco would naturally have all that stuff on board because it's just big and it's expensive, though HDR really is a bit of a niche consumer product. So we've got a dedicated consumer video processor here, the Lumagen, which is the master of high dynamic range, wide color space, and a whole bunch of other tricks. Very exciting. This had a huge upgrade. In fact, the entire logic of how the Lumagen processes video has been completely rewritten. And that came out only a couple of weeks ago. And the picture is elevated instantly. I love my Formula One. I'm watching the F1 through it. I'm like, wow, look at that depth. It's really amazing. So a lot of power, a lot of sophistication in here. And it means every link in the chain is critical. And I couldn't be happier with the Storm Audio ISP Mark II. We've had it for almost a year now, but not in the ability in this room of the speaker system to really show its true form. And it's absolutely stunning. So can't wait to play more content. In fact, the last few weekends in a row, we've been double stacking movies. We've had so much fun on the first one. At like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, we're like, well, let's play another one. And we're going again. So you know something's right when you're just that immersed and captivated, you want more of it. So very cool stuff. Guys, I'm going to wrap it up. There's obviously so much I could be sharing. I'm going to show up way more often. I know we've been a bit quiet lately. We're going to talk more about digital active speakers. We're going to talk more about reference video for home with the Barco projectors. Heaps of cool stuff to share. So for now, thanks for watching. If you love the video, give us a thumbs up. If there's anything that I touch on, you're like, what the hell is he talking about? Let me know, and I'll know to give more information so you guys have more clarity on how it is that these cinemas can work in the home environment. So thanks for watching. I'm Scott Rogan, lead designer of Rogue Home Cinema. For more inspiration and education, check out our website, our social media. Remember, with an epic cinema at home, on any day, reality can go rogue.